You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back when you're ready to know. You are always welcome home. Welcome home. Yeah, mamo akbaba. Akbaba. Yeah, mamo akbaba. Akbaba.
This is a very powerful panel that you have on here. It consists of not just individuals who are good speakers, but you actually have ambassadors, you've got leaders, you've got individuals who are great leaders of different communities that have been assembled here. And what I love about Ghana is Ghana's always prided itself in the leadership role in terms of Pan-Africanism. When you look back to Garvey, we look back to Nkrumah, and you understand that Ghana has stepped out there and was the first country to grant citizenship. We only have to recognize the signs and realize that during this window of time, Yom Kippur 2019, Yom Kippur 2020, where we are right at this moment, we are empowered in a special way to be liberated and to be brought back into the welcome of our brothers and sisters there in Ghana, as well as to be restored back to our land.
I realized that we as Israel needed to be tuned in to releasing ourselves according to the prophetic calendar, to leaving Babylon, leaving Egypt, and coming back or heading back to the land of our ancestors. So when we talked about this 400-year observance coming up, we said this is the appropriate time to put a call out to our people that this 400-year is more than just a calendar event on the American historical calendar, but it is a prophetical event lined up with scriptural prophecy. And we took that prophecy directly from Genesis 15, verse 13. And see, Ghana is a spiritual nation. Ghana is in the center of the earth. It's almost 0-degree longitude and 0-degree latitude. And it has one of the largest gold deposits of anywhere on the face of this earth. And gold is one of those attracting mediums and conduits for spirituality. So when Ghana lifts up its consciousness and makes a proclamation based on spiritual prophecy to call the sons and daughters of the Most High home back through this corridor, then that's a powerful invocation. So the year of return by many was seen to be a time they called for a pilgrimage to come back home to Africa. But this was deeper than just a physical pilgrimage of calling people home to land in an airport in Ghana, Accra, Ghana, or to come by road. It was a spiritual journey to call us to return back to the Most High, to return back to our center, to return back to our proper mind. We as Israelites have been a people who have been robbed, who have been spoiled, who have been plundered, not just from our physical land, not just of our material riches, but from our very consciousness, from our very memory, from the very essence of our soul. So that proclamation of the 400 years being over meant that that time cycle of our oppression, that time cycle of our collective amnesia, that time cycle of us not knowing who it is that we are was over. And it was time for us to proclaim and to accept and to be able to claim the spiritual identity of being God's chosen people, being the children of Israel, being of the Hebrew lineage, and being able to return back to the laws of God that we had gone astray from, that caused us to be separated from the blessings and caused us to be in line with the curses.
Well, I think our position is, and answer to that question is pretty clear, that we voted with our feet. And based on that vision in 1966 and the move of the brothers and sisters who came out of that Beta Cultural Center organization in Chicago at that particular time and leaving in 67, we were motivated by a revelation that said that we should return the same way that we had come. And so when the brothers and sisters began to look for exactly where that would be, you know, it was West Africa. It was obvious. It was logical that that was where we had our last point of embarkation on the way to that captivity. And so we looked in West Africa for how we could return via that direction. And there was Liberia. And Liberia, at that particular time, their constitution required that they open their doors and assist those of us who wanted to return from the captivities. And so, I mean, it's clear that we are advocates for the Exodus. In fact, 1619 to 2019, fine, we'll go with that because a lot of energy had gone into that. But there's documentation that shows that we arrived in St. Augustine, Florida in 1565, which would place Ben-Ami's vision in 1966, 400 years plus one to the year. And then what do we do with all of the brothers and sisters that ended up in the Caribbean? What about those that landed in Hispaniola, which is now what, Haiti and Dominican Republic, the islands shared by those two countries? What about 1505 for their arrival? And so I think I think these things are showing us that we're late, actually. When you look at how 2020 started off, if it's not screaming to us that we are behind the curve at this particular point, that we are indeed in the 401st year of a prophetic captivity.
A lot of times when we're thinking about this journey just to visit, I've heard fear-mongering just to visit. Now, I'm not here to tell anyone a 400-year prophecy. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, because I always say the safest place to be is in Yah's will. But the Hebrews in Africa, when I sit at their feet, including royals, the Sefwi, the eldest man, brother Joseph, said, he looked at me with tears in his eyes, and he said, African Americans, we need you. We need you to come visit. We need you to preserve our Torah history. And so myself with Hebrew Nation Building, we started something called Operation Joseph, where Hebrews in America, we've donated to over 50 Hebrew ministries, synagogues, and orphanages throughout Africa. And every time I deal with an Hebrew elder, whether it's a Jew from Uganda or an Igbo rabbi, they always say, we need you. But because we have the hurt and the pain of Joseph, though many of us are Judah, we allow fear to come in. Well, if I go to Africa, what are they going to do to me? Well, I watched this video. Are they going to trick us again? When are we going to get money to come home? We still, and I did a lesson called Joseph's Choice. If Joseph would have stayed in the bitterness and the trauma of what had happened to him and being sold into slavery, he would have missed his prophetic moment to preserve all the Hebrew people in Egypt. So I'm not here to tell everyone what to do. You should pray, but also with your prayer, you should take action. You should go on a tour with the God Box or even the Ghana Business Tour with GABA. You should research. You should build with your Hebrew family in Africa. It should not be that white Jews are visiting our people and keeping the feast with them, but we're debating about whether to go. I know many people have written books, and I've met Dr. Runzer, but I had to go on the ground and see. But when I went on the ground, Yah began to heal me, and now other people in my family are being officially welcomed back to Nigeria. Something broke for the Alston family when I put my feet on that ground. And though they took us in chains, I came back free. And Yah just elevated my spiritual life.